Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here, and I recently got accepted to the Hollywood Film Critics, which means I get to vote in their awards. And for the past few years, they've been doing a mid-season awards where every movie that is a first half of the year release qualifies. Sort of a cool way to honor movies that come out in the first half. Usually we don't really associate those movies with awards. And I'm going to share what I voted for on my ballot, and also my predictions for what I think is going to be nominated. In Best Film, obviously, I voted for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Had to vote for Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Vortex was a movie that qualified for this year, even though I saw it last year. The Northman's definitely one of my favorites I've seen this year. Turning Red. Had to vote for Top Gun Maverick and The Batman, some really good blockbusters. I don't usually care that much about action movies, but there are 6 action movies on here. It's just been a really good year for action movies for whatever reason. Apollo 10.5, Space Age Adventure, really liked that one. That one surprised me. After Yang, which went totally overlooked this year. And for my 10th pick, I was thinking, maybe I would vote for Happening, maybe On the Count of 3, but I voted for RRR. I'm kind of rooting for this one to get in. I don't think it's like the best movie, but it's so fun and crazy to a degree to which we don't even see in other American blockbusters. And that made it a really memorable movie. And as I said, I'm kind of hoping that it gets in. So I'm throwing my vote for it for that reason too. But then after I submitted, I realized that I forgot that We're All Going to the World's Fair counts for this year. And I probably would have voted for that at number 10, even though, in a sense, that's probably a throwaway vote. Because it didn't end up on their list of films that qualify, although I probably should have suggested it. I just wasn't thinking. Now, my predictions for the HCA, I think we got some locks here. I mean, Everything Everywhere is probably going to win. Top Gun Maverick is easily, at least a runner-up to that. The Batman's getting in. Cha-Cha Real Smooth, I think, is going to get in. That's just a lot of people's, one of their favorites so far this year. The Northman, Turning Red's probably going to get in. They nominate Pixar movies and animated movies a decent amount from the first half of the year. All these are also on my list. Elvis, I think, will get in, even though not everyone seems to be in love with the movie. Their history shows that if there's something like remotely Oscar baity, I think it'll probably get in. I think X is going to get nominated. Usually they'll go with some horror movie, and this has been the most popular this year probably. Marcel the Shell kind of just started its release, so maybe not everybody's caught up on it, but I think most critics in the organization have probably gotten a chance to see it, and it has some of the highest reviews out of anything, so I'm predicting it lower. I think RRR might have that passion to get in too. So those are the 10. Other movies I think could get in. Maybe Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. I think some movies are going to be too small for the HCA, like Happening, Vortex, On the Count of 3, Fire Island's possible, Doctor Strange is possible. In Best Actor, easily throwing a vote for Austin Butler and Elvis. He's probably going to win the award. Cooper Raiff in Cha-Cha Real Smooth. Your enjoyment of the movie really depends on how into Cooper Raiff's performance you were, and I was pretty into it. Christopher Abbott in On the Count of 3, I will not forget about him. Alexander Skarsgård in The Northman for being just ferocious and vicious. That was a really memorable performance. And number 5, I went with Dario Argento in Vortex. When watching that movie, I really just thought of him like as an actor, and his performance really resonated with me. Other contenders were Caleb Landry Jones for Nitram, Daryl McCormick for Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, RJ Seiler in Emergency, I considered, Colin Farrell After Yang, and Ben Foster in The Survivor. As for my predictions, as I said, Austin Butler is going to win the award. I think there are probably enough Cha-Cha fans that Cooper Raiff can get in. I think they will nominate Robert Pattinson in The Batman. I think they will nominate Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick, who I considered a little bit too. And then I think, Alexander Skarsgård in The Northman, because that was a big movie. It's probably going to get nominated for their stuff. I could also see them going for Nicolas Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Maybe even like Adam Sandler in Hustle will be nominated. Who knows? For Best Actress, I'm obviously throwing a vote for Michelle Yeoh in Everything Everywhere. I think she's probably going to win the award. The movie might sweep like the acting categories and everything when it actually comes time for the winners. Francois Lebrun in Vortex, amazing performance. Had to vote for Emma Thompson in Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. She's just perfect in this movie. Sophia Kappel in Pleasure. I still have a very strong impression of her performance from when I saw the movie last Sundance. And then for the 5th slot, it was kind of tough. There was Jessie Buckley in Men. There was Daisy Edgar Jones in Fresh. Ana Maria Bartolome from Happening was really good. I went with Regina Hall in Master. who is, debatably somewhere like towing the line between lead and supporting. But she really stuck out to me in that film. So I'm throwing a vote to her. I don't think she's going to get nominated, though. Who I do think is going to get nominated, I think Michelle Yeoh is, again, a lock, probably going to win. Emma Thompson seems like she's easily going to get in. The other ones were actually kind of hard because there's not a lot that seem like no-brainers out of the bunch. So I think Mia Goth in X may have a shot. Maybe people are confused if she counts as lead or supporting, but she does play more than one character in it. So I think maybe she'll get nominated. I do think Sophia Cappell will be nominated. I have a feeling that other people may be like me and they'll just see, oh yeah, Pleasure, like that makes sense. I feel like it just makes more sense than other things. And then Zoe Kravitz in Kimmy, which I didn't even see, but I heard that movie's pretty good and that she's really excellent in it, and she's having kind of a big year. Maybe like Penelope Cruz in Official Competition, or again, Daisy Edgar-Jones in Fresh. In supporting actor, Ke Huy Quan in Everything Everywhere. Predictable based on how much I like the movie. And he's probably going to win the award again. Is that movie going to win every award? Maybe it will. Justin Min in After Yang. I hope he gets nominated. I got Pedro Pascal in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, a movie that I'm not even that crazy about. But his performance is perfect. You can't deny how charming he is. His chemistry with Nicolas Cage. How lovable that character is. So I am rooting for him here. And then, I was kind of thinking I could do Colin Farrell in The Batman. That would be a good vote too. But I thought, John Turturro is another great performance in there that I think deserves more love. So I gave a vote to him. Other things I was considering. Anthony LaPaglia in Nitram was really good. Was very close to voting for him. Colin Firth in Mothering Sunday. Clay Spang in The Northman. And unfortunately, I didn't see The Black Phone in time to evaluate whether or not I think Ethan Hawke might deserve a nomination. For my predictions of what I think is going to be nominated, Ke Huy Quan again, probably going to win. I have two Batman folks on here, Paul Dano and Colin Farrell. Pedro Pascal in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I am going to predict Ethan Hawke in The Black Phone. Although maybe Justin Min will get enough votes for After Yang. I just don't know how well that movie's going to do. Supporting actress, Stephanie Sue, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Hope she wins. Dakota Johnson, Cha Cha Real Smooth. Also could win the award. Nicole Kidman in The Northman. Judy Davis in Nitram I'm voting for. I did watch that movie. I did like it. I don't love the movie, but the performances were really excellent in it. And for the fifth vote, Amber Gray and Master. I was considering Vicky Krieps in The Survivor, who was one of the best parts of that movie easily. Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Zelda Morrison in Pleasure. And Essie Davis in Nitram, who probably was just a little shorter on screen time for me to vote for her, but was really good. As for what I think will be nominated in Supporting Actress, Stephanie Sue and Dakota Johnson, I think, will be duking it out to win. I feel like Dakota Johnson will probably win, even though I would probably vote for Stephanie Sue. But they will both be nominated. Nicole Kidman in The Northman seems kind of easy. I think Elizabeth Olsen will get nominated for Doctor Strange because they do like superhero movies. The buzz around that one was not the most positive, so I left it out of most categories, but everyone seemed to like Elizabeth Olsen. And then number 5, I was considering, maybe Zoe Kravitz in The Batman, and maybe Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I ultimately settled on Jamie Lee Curtis, predicting a double nomination in this category. And Best Filmmaker, which I guess is basically a Best Director award, obviously I'm voting for Daniels. I'm voting for Robert Eggers. I'm voting for Cooper Raiff because he gives that movie so much personality. Gaspar Noé, who did insane shit with Vortex, and Audrey Diwan for Happening. And even though that movie didn't get any other votes, the directing was amazing, and it was extremely effective, especially in that build-up to the final 20 minutes, which was terrifying. But again, if I had remembered that We're All Going to the World's Fair was a this year movie, I probably would have voted for Jane Schonbrun in this category too. My predictions for this category are that the Daniels will be nominated, Robert Eggers will be nominated, Cooper Raiff, again. Matt Reeves is going to be nominated, I think, for The Batman. And Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick, because I think that those are just going to be some of the biggest movies there. Although I would not be surprised if they wanted to nominate Dame Shi for Turning Red. For Best Screenplay, once again, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Cha Cha Real Smooth, After Yang. Turning Red. And at number 5, we got Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. The dialogue was great. The way that the characters opened up and developed throughout the film was great. And my predictions for screenplay, I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to get nominated and win. Cha Cha Real Smooth once again. I think The Batman's going to show up here. I think Turning Red's gonna be nominated here too. And I was thinking like, yeah, they could nominate After Yang, but again, I'm not really sure about what they're gonna do with that. And I just ended up going with Good Luck to You, Leo Grande. I know this is like 4 out of 5 of what I did, and it seems obvious. But because a lot of the films that I'm predicting in picture are like action-y, like Top Gun and The Northman, like are people going to view those as screenplay movies? Like, I don't really think so. Maybe Marcel the Shell, the best horror film category. You know, I just didn't see like a ton of horror movies this year. Like, I didn't even see enough to fill up the 5, so it didn't even matter. I just voted for the ones I've seen. But my predictions for this category are X, The Black Phone, Scream, Fresh, and Crimes of the Future. I guess Watcher qualifies, and You Won't Be Alone, like, maybe is a qualifying horror movie, but I don't think they would nominate that. The 5 seem like pretty clear to me, except maybe Crimes of the Future sort of iffy. For most anticipated film of 2022, I was like, oh, what am I supposed to vote for here? I mean, I'm looking forward to so many. And so the top 3 that I voted for are just movies from some of my favorite filmmakers. I had to vote for Babylon because the past 3 of Damien Chazelle's films have all been like amazing. Then Killers of the Flower Moon, I mean, like Doi, Scorsese, like who doesn't love that? The Whale, Aronofsky is one of my favorite filmmakers too. I will defend Mother until I die. I voted for Women Talking because I'm really curious about it, and also I really liked Away from Her. So I'm excited to see if Sarah Polley can give me like that kind of experience again. And then I thought, you know, obviously like The Fabelmans is one of my most anticipated, but Spielberg lately doesn't usually crack my top 10 with stuff that he's made in like the past decade, even though he is one of my favorite filmmakers. So I left that off, even though it's up there. And I thought, you know, The Sun, I mean, that seems like really great. But I went with Bardo because I just feel like that one's going to be really interesting and ambitious. And I'm really excited to see where Inarritu's going. I might have voted for Poor Things, but that just got pushed to next year. And my predictions for the most anticipated film award are Killers of the Flower Moon, Avatar: The Way of Water, Thor: Love and Thunder, Don't Worry, Darling, and Nope. I thought, you know, sure, of course they could include like Babylon or The Fabelmans too, but I think big blockbuster sequels kind of have a little more priority here. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever seems like a no-brainer, but when I kind of open up my ear and listen around me, I don't know if people are excited for that movie or if they're just like, I don't know what you're giving me. Switching up who the protagonist is, like people don't really know what to expect, so it's hard to be like, I guess, excited until we know more of what we're getting. Or maybe Blonde, like there's just so much buzz about that movie, and with the teaser coming out recently, maybe people are voting for that. And those are my picks and predictions for the HCA Midseason Awards. We'll probably do a reaction to them, which is probably what you want, and so you can be given that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. What's your favorite half of 2022 so far?